Well, hello there.
Hi.
I have a surprise for you today.
Mhm.
This is my husband, Arjen, which is a hard name to pronounce in English. Um, and it is our anniversary today. We have been together today for 17 years. And I mean today that the day that the video is coming out. So we had this spontaneous idea um, of answering some of your questions that you may have had for him. So I posted on YouTube, and we got the most amazing questions. I really was touched. I didn't expect anything really. I just was curious what you would want to know, and yeah, they were amazing questions. So many also that I'm pretty sure we're not going to be able to cover all of them. But we are going to cover a few, and if that is what you want to hear, we'll do this more often because I love doing anything with this guy. Um, so do you want to start off by saying something, or should we just dive into the questions?
Dive into the questions, but I'm really happy that I can help some of you because it is tough to be in love with the fearful avoidant, and it's nice to be able to help
Yeah,
some of you.
yeah. Maybe just a little bit of context. So we have been together for 17 years now. We met when I was 20, when he was 25, and for the first 6 years or so, I went through the crush state of the fearful avoidant attachment style. For the first, or for about 10 years during our relationship, I was healing quite intensely. Um, and now for the past, what, 6 years, maybe 5 years, 6 years, it has just been a normal quote unquote relationship in the sense that I'm very dominantly securely attached, and nothing is ever perfect. We have our things, but it is so calm and stable and loving, and I think we both just enjoy this phase in our relationship. um, so we have been through it all, and he has been with me through it all. um, so just if you don't know our story, that's the backstory. So one of the first questions I saw was, "Yay! I've been waiting to pick his brain," which is just so cute. By Real 9307. But seriously, I would like to know, what was your husband's way of emotionally dealing with your crash outs, his thoughts? Because sometimes I don't recognize the angry person yelling and raging, staring back at me. It's like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde type of thing. It's exhausting.
Yeah, it definitely can be, and sometimes it was hard, and I think the best way for me to deal with it was not being pulled in and just being there and giving space to these emotions because I didn't feel the same emotions as she did, of
Yeah.
course. So it's sort of uh, I wasn't always able to, and of course I also had my doubts and uncertainties about it, but I think at moments I was definitely able to be present and allow her to have the rage and calm her down. And yeah, I don't know what where I got that calmness from, but that was, I think, a big strength to be able to deal with it and actually help her calm down as well.
Yeah. You we had no idea what was happening at that
Hmm.
time. We had no idea what even attachment styles was. um, so it was kind of shocking for both of us what was happening during those first few years. But yeah, you were a very stable force, and I think we've obviously talked about this at length throughout the years, during and after. And you said that you also didn't take it personally.
Hmm.
It was so intense that most of the time you were able to not take it personally, to see that I was just in panic and struggling, and that made it, the intensity of it in a way made it more clear that it was not personal for you.
Yeah, and
Is that?
after a few years, you came up with some concepts or words for what you were experiencing. So the fear brain, for example, and that was also helping me because then I could position it, and also sometimes we would envision that when you sit together and watch a problem, then you're still together rather than being opposites from each other. So I think we sort of developed a discourse about it that helped me not take it personally.
Yeah. 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 Good that you mentioned that, because I think I wanted to understand what was going on, but those terms like the fear brain and all the other terms that describe all of this also were to make sure that, or try to explain what was happening to him inside of me, inside of my head. Yeah, good one. Um, how could he stay warm and safe for you when you hadn't healed and might have been pulling away from him or having doubts, or when you got triggered by War One Tube? This is aimed at me, but I'm
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
waiting for you.
yeah. No, but the question is posed to you a bit. So
Yeah, but how? Okay, so how could you stay warm and safe
yeah.
when I hadn't healed and might have been pulling away from you or having doubts? You weren't all. I mean, we are just, you're obviously going to be very honest. You weren't always warm and safe. You also had your insecurities, like you just mentioned. So it wasn't that he was this stable rock always at all points. That's what I kind of wished for, maybe, but that wasn't very realistic of me either. Um, but you were warm always. Sometimes you were insecure, which made it feel unsafe for me because I was in such a panic. I needed you to be
Mm-hmm.
stable, but you were always loving. And I still don't know how you did that.
Yeah, but I think I saw you struggle and I saw you had pain, and um, you know, I wanted to care for you, and sometimes caring for people is, you know, when you have a partner who's ill or sick and you care for them, and I think I sort of maybe felt uh, subconsciously that this was sort of an almost an illness that
Yeah.
could be healed, and I wasn't sort of waiting out until you were healed. That was never my goal, but I did have a sort of a vision of the deeper you, or
Yeah.
that you could become, and it wasn't that I was counting down until you were healed, because I was still there with you no matter how long it would take, but yeah, I think I could love you and be there for you, to take care of you because I loved you, and
Yeah.
yeah.
This is still the part that's mind boggling to me in the most positive way, that you always saw something in me that I didn't see. You
Mm-hmm.
believed in me more than I believed in myself. Um, and at the same time, you completely accepted me for who I was and didn't make me feel like I should be that
Mm-hmm.
person. I still don't know how you did that. It's, I mean, it's such the epitome of unconditional love for me. Like I see so much good in you, even if you don't see it, and you are completely okay the way you are.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any idea how you did that? Because you still have that, but back then it was really hard to keep that vision and at the same time be like, okay, if this is gonna be it forever, that's also okay. How did you do that?
Yeah, but I think if that would have been like that forever, that would have been challenging for me, you know. So I think there were also moments of doubt about it, so that I had a lot of love to give,
Yeah.
that I wanted to share with you and support you. It's something that's in me, I think, this caring character. Um,
Yeah.
and of course, there were also doubts that, like, if this problematic relationship is going to last forever, then maybe that's not the wisest thing to do. But then we had a wonderful day again, you know, and then I saw how it can be. We often had these waves of when we didn't see each other for a week. That was in the first 2 years or so, 3 years. We didn't see each other for a while, and then we saw each other. Then we had arguments or to get used to each other. Then we had a wonderful day, and then about the end of the weekend, when I would be leaving again for a couple of days, then then we had trouble again, or
I would push you away.
yeah, and we wouldn't mention that, name that the wall.
Oh yeah,
But
the wall.
yeah,
Oh my gosh, I haven't even talked about the wall.
yeah. So
Yeah.
there you need moments that sort of encourage you that this is the person that you want to be with, and there are moments that you doubt. But then, if you sort of see a pattern and you develop words for it, then you can also see that this is something that doesn't have to be in between us. It's just something that's happening, and if we can give it a place, we can sort of wait it out.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, and that's also, like I said, we talked about this before, that what was almost necessary for you to be able to kind of ride those waves was that you did see me working at it really
Yeah.
hard and see me get better, even if it was very slow sometimes. Um, do you wanna say anything?
Yeah, I mean, you were very self-reflective, and I think that's also why you were able to develop all these concepts and words for what was happening, and then even find a way to heal them. That's pretty unique, but I think that's what you can learn from Pauline, to have this self-reflection and use her words for what's happening inside you and or your partner. To understand what's happening, and how to find a way to get out of it faster, because you've done it already and you're guiding others now. I think that sort of self-reflection and the effort in healing, that was definitely a big encouragement for me to keep faith in that we would get out of this at moments when it wasn't so nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think as soon as I realized that that this wasn't all his fault, which sounds crazy, but I think in the first year maybe that I was having intense doubts and really was in a crash state, I just wanted him to save me. I wanted him to be perfect, to say the perfect thing, to do the perfect thing, so that I wouldn't have to deal with all of these emotions. And I remember that one point of realization was that I was angry with him for not being perfect for something. And all of a sudden I realized I don't want to be this person. Like, I don't want to be the person that just gets angry when somebody doesn't do what I want to do. And it hadn't occurred to me before that that was actually the problem. It wasn't that he wasn't perfect. It was that I was the problem. And that sounds maybe almost like selfish or arrogant now, but it purely came from pain. But that was the moment that I really took responsibility for all of my behavior and actions. And I just kind of decided I want to get to a place where nothing he does or says gives me the feeling that it's justified to be angry with him. I want to be a loving person. And it is not loving to be super conditional in what you give when things don't go your way, or when it's not perfect, even if that creates so much fear in me, because that's what happened when things weren't perfect. I would just get really scared, and it felt very overwhelming. But the more I took responsibility for that, the more my healing went faster, and really you saw a difference too, I think. Because I still could get angry, but I also was able to quickly see, oh wait, this isn't you, this is me, and I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, and I think that also flipped some things that for me it was after that easier to be there for you, because before anger could also be focused at me, or
Yeah.
I would doubt more and think what is it in me that I need to change. And of course there's also been things like everyone has to develop his or herself in your life, and in a relation it's always work, so it's never just one person. But when we sort of could point what things were reasonably part of your attachment style without actually knowing
No.
any words like that at that time, it would make it easier for me not to take it personally, but to be there for you. And I think
Yeah.
then we sort of got a better understanding of what was happening.
And just to clarify, you said you had doubts, but as far as I know, those doubts weren't really about the relationship, but you're referring to the doubts you had about yourself.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
That's what I said now. Yeah.
yeah, more maybe the insecurities and the,
Yeah, yeah. So if you would aim your anger or complaints at me, then I would, take them personally. I think, oh, I need to change this or that or that. But then later on, we sort of got an idea that maybe not everything you say is I should take seriously and work
no.
on it, because there are also things that you project on me and you want me to change, but actually it's sort of a need that you have that's not realistic of me, for example. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was very frustrating because in the moments, I called them the sober moments. When I felt sober, like I was okay. I would say these things like, you shouldn't take me very seriously when I'm angry. But when I was fear drunk, so I was in like the really triggered moments, I wasn't very happy that I had told him that because I wanted him to take me serious because it felt so real.
Yeah.
But
It was also I mentioned before that you developed this course and the concepts of what was happening, but you really tried to give me a manual of we would talk about it that way.
of
And
what to do during those moments.
yeah, and in general. So that was, I think, was really special that you were able to do that. And
I tried. I don't know how. And we should see if we have that manual somewhere. I think I wrote it down at some point. That's
Yeah.
so long ago. Okay. There are so many questions. Let's do two more. Was there anything Pauline did during her tougher emotional times that did make you want to stick around? And was there anything she could have said or done that would have reassured you that she was okay and things would pass?
yeah, I think so. I think this sober state and fear drunk state is really helpful for this, because having this manual and talking about these episodes at sober moments was really helpful for me to stay calm during those more emotionally chaotic times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Understanding what is happening is key in, I think, navigating this together, right?
Yeah.
Understanding what is going on within the fearful avoidant partner, and having those terms and having those concepts and dynamics and being able to recognize them even when somebody is completely in like the crash state or the panic state, the fear state, that you as a partner can see, oh, this might be happening.
Yeah, because for example, with the wall, or when you would like pull away emotionally, like completely shut off. If I wouldn't know anything about this happening, I could stress about not having the connection, and I would, I could try very anxiously to re-establish the connection, but all that would do would make her pull away more even, and that was happening for a while in the beginning, and until at some gradually we found out that this was a dynamic and that it will also pass again, and then I could be okay with, she's pulling away, and leave
She'll
her
come
be.
back.
Yeah, she'll come back. And,
Yeah.
and you're also, when your relationship is longer and more established, you'll be more certain that she'll come back, and you don't panic because you're together for a while.
Yeah, you've been through the waves before.
Yeah.
When you're in a new relationship, that's harder.
That is much harder. Yeah.
And that was also in the beginning of our relationship. You were pulled into my states way more. And it's interesting because Arjen is securely attached dominantly. But you're never 100% securely attached. Sometimes there are comments under the YouTube videos of people say, he's not securely attached, he's dismissive, or he's anxious. And the interesting thing is that that makes it so black and white, because you can be very dominantly securely attached and lean towards one of the coping mechanisms that are just very human coping mechanisms. And in the beginning of our relationship, it was so intense what was happening, and you leaned a little bit more to the anxious side, wanting that connection, wanting that reassurance that I was there and that I wasn't going to leave. And then as I healed more and more, but we were still struggling, you sometimes leaned more dismissive, probably because you were just a little bit tired of of all my shenanigans. But he has always been securely attached dominantly, because he has always been very open to connection, not completely shut off dismissive. I mean, I could do a whole video on why I know he's securely attached. If you want that, let me know in the comments. We'll do that another time. But yeah, in the beginning of the relationship, you were a little bit more anxious leaning, and maybe later on a little bit more dismissive leaning. And now we're just both just, we don't talk about our relationship that much anymore. I think we've done all the talking in the first like 10 years. And we also have 2 small children, so we don't have a lot of time to talk. So I don't even really know what I would describe as now, but it's definitely dominantly securely attached. Okay, one more question. There are so many good ones. I want to make another video with you. I see all these great questions about dealing with the fearful avoidant behaviors, etc. Some of you beat me to my questions. Good. But I'd like to know what was it about you that he fell in love with, and what was it about you that caused him to want to marry you? It's the need to know romantic in me.
I thought she was just very pretty when I saw her, and I wanted to get to know her. And we had a date where 17 years ago, where we went to a concert and open air cinema, and we cycled back, and I noticed that we had just talked for hours, and I still felt we had the ability to keep talking forever.
Yeah.
So I think, and that's what I say over the years, it's her brain that keeps intriguing me, and maybe does you with you as well. But no, I just always want to know what you think and what you feel, and that's just so enriching. And she gives a lot of depth in my life as well, that I didn't grow up with talking like into as much depth as you are used to, and that actually gives a lot of new layers in my life.
Yeah. I remember on that first date, because it's 17 years to the day, that when we cycled back, that's when we asked, oh wait, what did you study actually? What the very normal questions that you would ask right away.
First half hour.
Yeah,
we
that
were
was
hours later.
4 hours later or something. And that's also when I realized that this was pretty special, that we were able to talk so much. And what I loved about him from the start was that he was just who he was. He wasn't playing games. He wasn't trying to impress me, or he was just genuinely curious to get to know me. And I loved that. I loved that honesty, and just you being, I guess genuine is the word. And that's still something I love about you, and I admire about you, that you're always just so, yeah, you're so loving, you're so, oh gosh. Oh. Yeah, I'm just so grateful that you were able to stick it out with me and be by my side, and that we got through so much. And you're amazing, you're wise, you're kind, you're there for me when I need you, and still just really genuine. So thank you, honey. All right, there were so many more questions. Do you want to say anything more, or should we wrap it?
I think this was a great end.
Yeah, there are so many more questions, and I love doing videos with him, and love just spending time with him. So we might do more. If you want that, let us know in the comments below. All right, you're oh, by the way, I wanted to say, I think a lot of partners are watching this. Partners from Fearful Avoidants. We have a trigger and behavior map specially made for partners of Fearful Avoidants. We'll link it in the description below, so you can download that, and I think that will be very valuable. It will give you like the first few, how do you say it, handvatten? First few triggers that you can recognize in your partner, and actually know what is going on inside of them, maybe even before they know it. So you can download that. As always, I am so happy you are here. We are so happy you are here. And maybe we will see you in the next one.
Healed and Happy is a tailor made online program where me and my team personally guide you through healing the roots of a fearful avoidant attachment style.